My name is Wayne, and this is Type Tested. I've been working on this Hermes 2000 for the last couple of days, and since I'm a hobbyist, I tend to work on things a couple of hours here or there, and it takes me a little while to get things done, but they do get done, and it's always interesting to see the workings of a new typewriter. Anyway, I'm almost through with this. I've got everything cleaned up. The body turned out quite nice, as you can see here. It's nice bright gray. A few things such as the cover in the back that have some red spotches that I was not able to get out. I'm not quite sure why they're so difficult, but they look like they're there to stay. Anyway, I have one problem that needs to be resolved in this, and well, a couple of problems, but one I'm going to address today. And that is the fact that if I go to set a tab, and that's this control here, left for set, right for release. Go ahead and take this off here, just to make things easier to access. And of course, this also has a master tab clear back here. But if I go to set this tab, and let's weight this a little bit, just so that we can make sure it operates correctly. I'm not ready to put that back in yet, but I do need the weight. So I set a tab, and then I hit the tab. Nothing happens. Try again. Nothing happens. So, after investigating, it appears that the problem here is that the tab set and tab clear is hitting right in between two of the tab stops. Now this has the full carriage tab system, so it's nice and handy there. But I've got to figure out now what to do to fix this. And I think I have come up with a solution. Now, before I start, I should mention that this back cover here, blocks access to the screws, so you have to take this off in order to do this adjustment. And what we have here is a little bit of a lip that goes over the top. So just show you how this goes back on, so I can show you how I take it off. And then the tabs here go under the bottom. So to take this off, once you get the screws out, lift up, and it works better if you put the shift lock down, so you get a little bit more room to work. Pull it past the tension knob here, and then lift it up. And of course, exactly the reverse to put it back on. The thing about this particular setup is that adjustment is not straightforward. Here we have the two margin stops, which are, if you look carefully, you can see that there's a little bit of a slot there, so it can go left and right in, so I can deal with the banking problems that way easily. But tab is another matter. For one thing, the stop and the tab are all inside this cover here. Well, this actually isn't a cover. This is what it's mounted to. But there's no slot to easily slide it left and right. However, if I take one of these screws out, you will see that there is a little bit of up and down that I can do. Go ahead and put this back on, this screwdriver, because it's magnetic. And each of these screws, come on, get back in there. Yeah. Each of these screws has a similar setup, but there's 6 of them. 2 down here and 4 up here. So, it seems that while I can't slide it, I can pitch it a little bit. And within the limits of the screw, I can slide it just a little bit. But we're going to try to move this over just a little bit, and hopefully not cause any more problems, to see if I can get this to line up with those tab stops. The problem here, like I said, it's not easy to slide this over, nor is the tab bar itself adjustable. So I have no choice but to adjust the position of the tab mechanism itself. And because these have to deal with the impact, they're all fairly tightly secured. So now with them loose, you can see I can move it up and down a little bit. And I can also move it side to side. So we're going to move it up a little bit and over to the right. And you can see it looks like I've got it lined up here. So let's go ahead and secure this back down. That should be sufficient for the test. Let's see what happens if I go to set a tab. Okay, it goes all the way in and it comes all the way out. So you can see there, set, unset. Now looking at this, a little more closely. Let me look at this a little more closely while I unset. Just trying to make sure that it's hitting solidly, and it looks like it is on both sides. So that's going to be nice and reliable. So now I can go ahead and tighten the rest of the screws down. Get them good and snug while avoiding stripping anything. Now, go ahead and set that tab, move it back over here, hit the tab button, and now it stops. And you can see the kind of impact that has to absorb. That's why the screws have to be put down tight, and that's why there are 6 of them. So let's go ahead and just set a few arbitrary tabs. Oh, that got caught. Now, the interesting thing about this, because of this design, normally when you want to clear tabs, what you would do is you would hold the tab clear down and you would move the carriage across. However, this one doesn't work that way. That would simply get caught. So if I try to do that, I move a little bit and then I get stuck. That's why we have the master tab clear here. So if I pull this up, it will rotate this bar here. It's just kind of a cup, and it will push all the tabs back all at once. So a nice little feature of the Hermes. The one issue I'm going to have to verify when I get done here, and I can't do this until I have the platen back in it and I'm ready to type, is to see whether or not it's actually stopping where it's supposed to. I might have to go back and move this the other direction. Because that's the problem when you have a system like this where it's sitting right in between 2 tab stops. You have to figure out which one it's actually supposed to hit in order to have the carriage stop the right spot. So you have to make your adjustment and then you have to check. So anyway, there you go. Tab adjustment on a Hermes 2000 from 1955, I think. Once again, my name is Wayne, and this is Type Tested.